What up, everybody? You know what? If I had enough time that I can work with on my phone to record and everything, I would just do all this like in one stream or just one really long video. And that's basically calling out the hypocrisy of the cross-eyed lizard, like for real, or the Lizardcrite, as I'm gonna call him, because that's what he is. He's a hypocrite, but he's not human. He's a lizard. Like for real. Like you ought to hear what his thoughts on what heaven is gonna be. He thinks that anyone that follows God or the Most High or whatever is going to go to different planets. Yeah, that literally sounds like something you would expect a non-human, like an alien or lizard or whatever, in a human skin to say. Like, seriously. So, yeah. Nope, heaven is basically going to be like a new Jerusalem, because that's what the Bible says is going to be a whole new Jerusalem. Or maybe it's Israel. I can't remember. It was either Israel or Jerusalem, but either way, though, God's making a whole new one. It's going to be floating above the earth. And people are going to be able to like travel back and forth however they want. That's in heaven. Yes, there's going to be jobs we're going to have in heaven, but it's not going to be like what we're good at on earth. Like what these only goes by the Old Testament type of Jews want to believe. No. When it says we're going to have work in heaven, that just means we're going to be busy serving God in heaven. But you know what? We're not going to get tired or fatigued or hungry or thirsty or anything like that, because we're going to be all new bodies and we're not going to have no need for any of that stuff. So, yeah. That's why I'm saying, if anyone really has any questions regarding religion or God or anything, you're better off to come to me before you go to Arthur. I'm just going to be real on that. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything like that. Like if someone says, "Oh, well, I'm a homosexual," what does God say about that? I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat it and keep from saying things that might hurt your feelings. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna make it sound like I'm really hateful or judgmental or anything like that. When it comes to how I phrase what I have to say regarding that and what God's word says about that. So, yeah. That being said, though, I just think it's funny because, like I said, I can make an entire series just calling out every hypocritical thing he said. But one of the things he said within his stream he made last night is like, nobody knows me, nobody knows who I hang out with, they don't know us and everything, so they can't sit there and judge and blah, 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 right? And then he even getting mad because he said, people they go low towards people's family and whatnot and blah, 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 like trying to act like he's some kind of victim or whatever. And then within the exact same stream, he starts talking crap about my mom, acting like he knows her living situation and everything. Again, basically proven to be nothing but a hypocrite. So, again, practice what you preach. Point blank, period. Trying to say, oh, my mom, she has me doing all the work and making all the money and everything because she's too fat and lazy to work or anything. Like, how in the world do you even think I get to work? Like, seriously. So, yeah, my mom helps out with the same work I'm doing. The difference is yes, am I able to do more? Am I able to lift more? Yes, of course I am. I'm 40 years old. I'm like 6'4.5", and I've been putting on nothing but muscle, like for real. My nephew used to think it was funny to slap my chest or whatever, because, it used to hurt. But ever since I've been working, my chest muscles and everything have built up so much to the point that the last time he tried slapping me across the chest, he ended up hurting his own hand. And he hasn't slapped me across the chest ever since then. And that's been a couple of years ago, so, yeah. Just something worth noting. But, my mom does help where she can and when she can. So, yeah. So she's not relying on me for everything. Also, with the whole, you need to have your own place. I do have my own place. This house is technically mine. It's being put in my name, for one thing. So, yeah, once it's paid off, it's going to me. It ain't going to my sister, it ain't going to my brother. They've already got their own places or whatever. So, yeah, so it's going to me. So I'm going to have my own place. Again, I can afford to go rent me an apartment or something like that when it's all said and done. But the thing is, though, is I stay to help my mom. And the thing is, I actually am compassionate. I actually do care about people and actually care about helping them out. And that's another contradiction Arthur said last night. It's like, oh, he's trying to help people out by sending them this and sending them that on Discord or whatever social media device he's on to try to help them get their lives together and get a job or whatever. I've seen the things he sends to people. And quite frankly, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit, because it looks like a straight up scam. It looks like one of those things where if they clicked on and inserted some information or whatever, then their accounts or whatever would end up getting hacked. To the point to where they'd have to go to the bank and get a whole new bank card and, everything else. So yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm not falling for some scam. So Arthur's not really trying to help people. No, he's trying to get people scammed. And maybe he's unaware of it. He probably is, knowing how he is. But still, those kind of jobs he's trying to introduce people to, like, that's not a real job. So yeah, that's not even a job at all, really. So yeah, it's just a scam. So yeah. I think it's funny how much he hates the government, how much, like I said, everything he says that he's against or whatever, he's all for himself. Oh, he don't like video games or whatever. Here's the thing, and again, this is where he pretends he knows everybody. When he claims that people like me make video games my God. The video games is not my God. No, I put the actual God ahead of everything, But it's what he said when people were questioning him for singing Bruno Mars songs and Michael Jackson songs and, loving Mortal Kombat and everything else. He literally said that, well, it shows that you can enjoy, the fruits of the world or whatever as long as you don't make it your God. Oh, okay. Again, practice what you preach. I'm not making video games my God. God is my God. Well, why don't you make videos talking about that? Does anybody really want to hear about God? Like, let's keep it real on that. Like, for real. So, yeah, and you say, well, does anyone really want to hear about video games, your opinions on video games? Well, I guarantee there's a lot more people that want to hear about that than what there are that want to hear about God. I'll tell you that much right now, because that's just the world we're living in, so, yeah. But like I said, man, if I really had enough time and everything, because I'm actually worn out right now from all the work I did today, so yeah. Because I'm like, Arthur, I actually do work. And he can say, well, I have a job too. I guarantee you I work harder. I guarantee the work I do is a lot more strenuous than anything he's doing. So, yeah, at least I'm gaining muscle from it. So I actually have proof that my work is strenuous. I also have proof I make money from it. I've even showcased proof. And I don't have to show off, like, documents or anything like that. No, I can just show off my big man's chair over there. That's one thing I bought with the money I make from a job. Oh, I got me an awesome TV stand right there that doubles as a dresser, solid wood, everything. Again, those two things alone are a little over $2,000 in total. Not to mention the fact I was able to get a Nintendo Switch 2 sooner rather than later. So, yeah, there's that as well. So I'm able to show the proof of the fruits of my labor. But, yeah. But, no, I have heard a lot of the reasons why Arthur's gone against this person or that person. He's a freaking bum. He is, because I constantly hear about the reason why he got mad at this person or that person. It's like, well, me and this person, we're not friends or anything. I can guarantee we'll never be friends or anything. Not like what we used to be, but BioX or Xlinium or whatever is someone who Arthur went against because evidently Arthur was having problems with his utility bill or some shit like that. I guess he didn't have the money to pay it, so he was trying to message Carlos, whatever, to pay the bill for him. Carlos said no, he couldn't do it or something like that. And Arthur got mad. So, yeah. So yeah, and that's why Arthur bitches and complains when people would rather buy a video game or something like that instead of sending his bum-ass money. Just like how he was begging, both Chayton and Ulysses for money here a while back. Again, once I sit there and go on about me and my living situation, again, his is even worse. And he claims he's rich and high class and everything. Like, okay. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I'm going to talk to people I'm going to hang out with people who are high class, who got money. Of course you are, because you're a bum and you want to bum money off of them. So, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless and peace. And seriously, Arthur, you're going to see this. If you really want me to shut up and stop talking about you, again, the proposition is always there. You want me to shut up, you shut up. But we all know you're not going to, so yeah. That's why when I made the proposition to begin with, I titled the video A Wasted Proposition, because I knew it would be a waste of time. So, yeah.